this is Veronica. I wanted to thank you so much for all your comments and the fact that you have responded and would like me to do a video on kind of a beginner's wire work. And I'd like to keep it at beginners on Wendy's channel, simply because there are so many other videos out there that have the advanced stuff, and certainly way more advanced than me. And because I delve into different things, so it's not like wire work is my only thing or it's something that I do most of the time. So I totally understand the intimidation, because I still get intimidated myself. And, you know, I have an idea in my head and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to come out like that. And it just totally doesn't look good. So, but in any case, I wanted to also thank Chris and Joey for the wonderful work that they're doing. And I'm sure they're doing quite a bit behind the scenes. I think that we, as content creators that have come here, it's a great collaboration, and certainly Chris and Joey, we will do whatever we can to help you out in anything else. So, of course, those things can remain behind the scenes, but for the video content that comes on here, it is so different. And everybody has something that they can, you know, enjoy. So I guess the likes and the dislikes of whatever you may have for jewelry, there is going to be something here for everyone. And for those of you who perhaps maybe have your own channel or thinking about getting a channel, you know, consider talking with Chris. You can email him. Consider talking with him and seeing if you can do tutorials to put up here, you know, because maybe you do something a little bit different when it comes to beads. You have a different style. We want to have people come here and not only keep the video channel remain on YouTube, but to actually bring this to somewhere I believe is going to be glorious. I actually see this channel perhaps even being used as a platform for a lot of content. And, you know, all kinds of arts and crafts. I think that would be just wonderful. So with all that, again, thank you so much. Your comments are amazing. The heartfelt love that you have for the people that come on here is truly amazing to me. And to see that the comments towards all of us here that are doing the content and the jewelry is just truly amazing, and it makes me feel good. It lifts me up in my spirit, and we are called to do that. So we are going to do a quick project today, and it's going to be cute. It's going to be beautiful. Of course, that's my opinion. So let me gather that stuff together, and I'll be right back. Thank you so much. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, I'm back with what we're going to do. So first I want to let you know what we have here. I have 5 pieces of chain. 3 of them are 4 inches long. The other 2 are 3.5. And you'll understand why. You could also cut 10 pieces. So you'll have 6 at 2, is that 2 inches? Yes, 2 inches, and the others at 1.5. Okay, and you can do it that way, and like I said, you'll understand when we get through this. And this is a 16.5 by 15 this bead, and it's got a very large hole. Okay, so making our loop to hold on to these chains is going to make a difference on the size on how we make our loop. This came in a Jesse James Magical Mystery Box. I got a couple of years ago, I believe I got it. And so I don't subscribe to them, but because I purchased a couple of their Magical Mystery Boxes, I was able to have some of the beads, and I still have some. They're just so fancy. It's like, what do you do with them? And I just thought this would be perfect, not only because using these to make tassels here, but the fact that fall and winter time, we wear our sweaters, so it's very hard to have necklaces that we're wearing that cannot be seen if they're underneath the sweater. So people will like to wear more of the lariat style or longer ones with the tassels on the end. I just think that is such a beautiful look. It's elegant and even casual, because that, of course, depends on the items that you are using to make your tassel. I have a 4mm bicone here, and that is, we're going to be placing that inside one of the holes to keep the wire from moving around like crazy. And you can, if you have a cone style bead cap, certainly do that. This is all I have in the cone style at this point, so this will definitely be for technique and neat little things that you can do with your projects. You know, and again, all of us sometimes we make a lot of the same stuff, but we have different ways on doing it. Your 8mm jump ring and about 5 inches of a 20 gauge wire. You'll need your flush cutters, you'll need your needle nose, your round nose pliers, and your wire straightener, just to straighten that out, just enough. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight because you're going to be bending it anyway. I am going to try to do a different kind of bail, and so I have my bail pliers here, and it's got 6 steps, so you'll get different size loops with that. Also, if you have your bent nose pliers, everything that you could use, like your needle nose pliers or your bent nose pliers, they have the smaller tips, so you'll be able to tuck in any parts that might be sticking out with the wire. I'm going to be using the super glue on this, and this is the gel. You can use your E6000, the Aleene's the hypo cement, you can use that. And the reason why I'm going to be doing that is because when we put the wire through here, you need something with a much smaller hole to prevent the wire from wobbling back and forth. As you can see, it's too big. So when you even put a bead cap on, if this is too big, it'll look crooked hanging underneath your bead cap, and it'll just keep slipping and sliding. So we can do that by preventing that. So if some of you haven't done that before and you haven't seen that kind of technique, this is a great little secret, just to keep from having all that stuff. And like I said, when you want to put that in there, it's good to use a little bit of glue and keep that in there nicey nice. Okay. So let me move some of this out of the way so we can focus on one part of this component right now. All right, so we're going to start with our wire here. And I've already glued that in there. So when you glue it in, give it some time to dry. And so you'll be ready to insert your wire. Now what I'm going to do with this, let me bring it a little closer. If you can see, this needs to get cut, and you can do it straight if you want. What I'm going to do is do it on an angle. So that it looks more like that. Okay. Now you're going to take your round nose pliers and have that facing upward, and you're going to take, and you want to make enough of a size of a loop, because when you insert this, you want to make sure that your loop does not fall through that hole. So it has to be substantial enough to go through that, but also only stick out just a little bit, because we're gonna put our 8mm jump ring through that loop once we get all the chain on here. Okay, so you probably want to go about almost halfway down. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn that all the way so that it touches. Okay, so you have your little P, and then just like I showed you in the other video, you come on the other side and turn it that way. Okay, now you want to make sure this is closed, so you take your tweezer nose pliers and bring that in. And make sure it's nice and straight and that it's touching. Now gently put this in, because if this is not fully dry, you don't want to dislodge that in any way, okay? So gently look for that hole that's in there. And have it go right through. And then you're going to see that your loop is going to hang out just a little bit on the bottom, okay? All right, now from here, we're just going to make a loop, just like a wrap loop, just like anything else. Actually, we have to put on our bead cap. Put on your bead cap. So it looks like that. Okay, so whatever you decide as your bead cap, your cone, if you're using a cone, any size cone, just as long as you have something in here that's going to stop that thing from wiggling so much on the inside. Now we're going to go in here, and you can go right about there, and you're going to bend that. Okay, now this is where we're going to do our our 6-step bail pliers. You'll have different sizes here. Let's see if you can see it. This one, we're going to be using the loops to make the loops with this size. This is going to go underneath your wire under here, okay? And go towards where it meets here, okay? And then you're going to come around just like you would if you had your own pliers. And then you're going to go around again. So bring that around. Okay. And just follow this around. You're going to have to bring it towards the back. Come all the way around. Okay, so you'll have 2 of those. And I'm going to come towards the front, so it's kind of like a crisscrossing over. Just want to make sure that that's a little bit straighter here. So it'll look like that. Okay. Insert that small one again, or that medium one. You're going to come to the front. Okay. And cross over. Now we're going to keep this inside so you don't distort your loops. And now we're going to go ahead and make our wraps all the way down till we get to the top of that cone top, okay? So whatever it takes to get to that top. So it's probably a good 3.5, depending on where you have decided to. Now you're going to cut again on an angle. So you're going to come from the inside or you can go from the outside so you can get it on that angle again. Let's get a little closer. Okay. And then you're going to come in and close that up. If you have to use your bail pliers to hold that, so you can give it a good squeeze. Don't, squeeze that too much because you don't want to mar up your wire. Come in squish that around. Get that nice and tucked in there. Okay. Now you can take that out. And as you can see, we have a bail that has 2 rings. Now from here, you can get your finger in there, get your fingernails in. If you don't have fingernails, use a very thin, I don't know, perhaps you have tweezers, regular tweezers. You're going to come in, and now you're going to separate them to whatever you want to separate them, however far apart you want them. So you have something like that, okay? And if you need to straighten anything out, go for it. So now you have your loop at the bottom, and you have your, now the loop, it doesn't have to be facing the exact same way because it's, you know, you're going to have your tassels hanging. So it's going to hang, you know, when you hang that on there, your loop is going to come like this. So you can have this and this in the opposite direction. So again, like I said, you can make your changes. So hold on to that and take your make sure that they are in opposite directions. Okay. Make sure everything is tucked in and we're not having any pokies hanging out, okay? Okay. You can reopen that if you end up closing it. Okay. I want to make sure if I hang that there, it's going to go that way. So maybe I should do this. Maybe they should be on the same side. Yeah, let's try that. And make sure I'm going to spin it in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's best to have them facing the same way. So you'll have your loops facing the same way. Go ahead and reopen that. Oops. Okay, this way, when the loop comes in, it'll be like this when it's hanging there, okay? All right, sorry about all that, guys. Sometimes I get a little backwards myself. So now we're going to take our, let's see, we're going to have our 3.5. We have 2 of those, 1 on each side. So we're going to put on our 3.5 first. So we're going to go ahead and open up our jump ring. Okay. And we're going to insert, this is one of the 3.5. We're going to go ahead and let that hang. Okay. Now we're going to bring up the other end and put that on there as well. Okay, let's get that on there. All right, so we got one hanging there. Okay, now let's show you again. We're going to take the next one. This is a 4-inch. And you have to have one of those I'm using stainless steel, of course. One of the thinner ones, obviously, to get through these little tiny holes that are in here, okay? Okay. So as you can see, you'll have a, you know, one that's a little bit shorter, one's a little bit long. If you want to make them staggered, that's fine. All different sizes, that's fine. I think that you can make it however you want. Okay, and I just love this kind of tassel. It's not stiff. It's like silk. It just hangs so nice. All right, so let me get the rest of them on and I'll be right back. All right, so I got them all on there. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. So pretty, so pretty. Love it. And they don't have to be exact, so I wouldn't worry too much if it's, you know, you got a couple of links more on your 4-inch or a couple of less on your 3 inches. It's going to still give it that nice staggered look. So now we'll take our component that we made and we're going to go ahead and insert that right there. And let's close it up. Hopefully give it a nice close. And now these are really good jump rings, so even though they're thin, they are a nice sturdy stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about having to try to either double up or that it's going to be flimsy. And there you have it. Now with this little loop here, you can always, you know, maybe take like 28 gauge wire and put maybe a bicone in there and wrap it around 3 times on each side with the wire so that you might have a little sparkly thing going on in there. That's up to you. Very, very easy stuff. So here we are. And look at that sparkle. Oh, look at that. It's like silk. I love it. So yeah, I'm going to probably wear this to work tomorrow, even though I have a uniform for my job. Still, to be able to, you know, I'm like a walking billboard. It's always what I say, you know, I'll have different pieces on me. They may not match, but it's more because, you know, somebody may comment on one of my pieces. I can say, oh yeah, well, I made that too. Like I made this ring. And this is, I oxidized this. And then of course I have sealant to keep from, you know, because it is copper. You don't want it to turn your finger green or anything. And that is a carnelian 6mm in there. And that's with the, I believe this is the 20 gauge or 21 gauge of the square wire. So maybe we'll do a ring, something simple like this on the tutorial. Let me know what you think. So here you are. And you can add any chain that you like. If I can get it right. I'm just so bad at that, trying to get it all nicey nice. All right. And again, you can make any bail that you like. You don't necessarily have to do it that way. You can do just the one loop and do a nice wrap. Or you can do wire weaving in there. It's up to you. So everyone, there it is. So I hope that you enjoyed this. And again, hit the thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber yet, please subscribe, because I believe that this is going to be an amazing channel. And so let's keep it alive and totally in memory of Wendy, and give a thumbs up for Chris and Joey for doing great work, and for all the other ladies that are on here doing great work. And if you're a male, don't be afraid. You know, see if you can reach out to Chris and see what you can do. This is also for men too. They like to make jewelry for women. Maybe they have some great stuff to and designs for menswear. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. And I will end it with this one, and this is from 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. God bless everyone. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.